Hey, everybody. Welcome to the application walkthrough with Duke. I'm one of the loan managers here over at Texana Bank 629 Loan, and your REMLO has just sent you the mortgage loan application via email or text message, and you're getting ready to fill that thing out. And you probably have some anxiety, maybe a little bit of questions starting to pop up. So I wanted to make a how-to video for you to quickly walk through the loan application and just to progress through it as easily and as efficiently as you possibly can. Okay. So if it was emailed to you, you may not see it in your inbox. It may have gone to spam. So just come over to your spam folder and it's going to look just like this. Texana mortgage notification. And you have been invited to download and install the free application. If you open this on the phone, it'll probably take you to the App Store so you can go ahead and download the app. And I'll give you a kind of a preview of what that app will look like. So, okay. Okay. Take two. Hey guys, Duke here from Texana Bank 629 Loan. I'm one of the loan managers here, and me and my partners are the ones that help REMLOs complete the mortgage loan application from start to finish. So your REMLO has just sent you an email notification to download the mortgage application and start the process. You probably got a little bit of anxiety. You probably got some questions, and this video is to help you get from start to finish with as little headache as possible. So right here in your email, you'll see that you got spam folder and an inbox folder, right? The spam folder is probably where that link went. As you can see here, I work for the bank and it still made it to my spam folder. So you'll click here and you'll see Texana mortgage notification, and you've been invited to install the free app. If you click this on your phone, it'll take you to the App Store where you can download the Texana app, which is right there. Okay? And that you can do the same functions that we're doing here online, you can do it from your phone. But if you click this on your phone, it's going to take us to the Texana Bank mortgage portal. Okay. You're going to put in your email address and you're going to click get started. And this is going to be your landing page. First thing you're going to see is it's going to say loan application needs to be completed urgent. You're going to click this and it's going to say that you need, so much time to get started and to get information. I already kind of started this just to make sure it worked before I got into the video, but none of these boxes will be checked. They'll have this little green arrow and it'll tell you you got about 15 minutes to complete everything from start to finish. We do suggest that you do it in one sitting. There is some data points that need to be added, and it's just easier if you can knock it out at once. Don't worry about the accuracy of the information as much as getting to completion. My team can 100% change, alter, or update any of the information inside of the loan application for you. So don't worry about that. We're going to click here and click continue. And I'm going to go back up here to the first part and we're going to do edit so that way it can start. And this is where you're just going to start telling us about yourself. This is your personal information. So you want to go ahead and input it as accurately as you possibly can. Coming down here, social security number, date of birth. This will not automatically pull your credit. So don't worry about that. It's just required for a mortgage loan application. Everybody, every time submits this personal information. Your citizenship, your date of birth. Did you or your spouse serve in the military? What type of military did they serve? What branch of service did they serve? Are they currently serving or are they retired? If that doesn't apply to you, don't worry about it. You're just going to click no, and all this goes away. Then you come down here and it asks you for your preferred language, and you're going to click save and review. It's going to ask you about your dependents, if you're married, not married, what the ages of those dependents are. It's going to ask you about your current address and how long you've lived there. If you do 1 year, it's going to ask you for more addresses because you need a minimum of 2 years. If you do 2 or more years, that will go away, so you don't have to worry about the additional addresses. Employment is similar to the addresses, as we need a minimum of 2 years. So you're going to do your current employer. If you're self-employed, that means you get a 1099. You do not get a W-2, and you file your taxes on your own at the end of the year using a Schedule C, 1120, 1065, or some type of incorporation, right? So you want to go ahead and designate that there. If you are self-employed, you're going to tell us what percentage of the business you own as well. If you own 25 to 100%, then we can consider you self-employed. If you own less than 25%, we're going to look at that a little bit differently. So just talk to your loan manager, kind of, and what your percentage of ownership is and what forms you use to file taxes, and they'll help you navigate this piece. Your employer information, the contact number is always somebody that can confirm you work at the company. I don't need the main office for, Amazon. I don't need the main hub for Walmart. I need somebody at Walmart and Amazon that can confirm that you work there. And then your position, what you're paid to do while you're on the clock or while you're working for that company. Start date can be anything that you have that is accurate, understanding that it doesn't have the same designation as residency. So if you do 2 years here, it doesn't know. You may have another, side hustle or a second job or, some other employment that you need to list here prior or otherwise. If you're doing a USDA loan, please input every employer that you've had for the last 2 years. If you're doing a down payment assistance loan, please list any employer you've had for the last 3 years. If you're doing a conventional, you can list only the employers that you want to qualify with. If you're unsure, reach out to your loan manager, ask them, and they'll tell you what to put here. If they don't answer, just put what you think is correct and move on. There's no need to stop here to make sure the information's perfect. We can absolutely clean that up. Other income is any sources that aren't considered standard employment. Social Security, alimony, child support, separation maintenance, anything that you would be getting from a non-traditional employment. And you want to list that here. There is no requirement for you to list those items, right? This is not you have to, unless you're doing USDA or down payment assistance, in which you are required to reveal all sources of income to make sure you meet the income requirement for those programs. Then you're going to click review, or for you down here to be save and continue. And this will be all the data points that you just put in there. I know it hasn't asked you for a co-borrower. As you can see, that's coming up next. Don't worry about that. And then you click continue, and here comes your co-borrower. For my particular loan application and for this video, to keep it short, we're not going to put a co-borrower in here. It's the exact same data that you did before. There is no changes, right? So it's just going to do that for your spouse or your girlfriend or your significant other, your mother, your father, your grandfather, who's ever going on the application with you. You'll input their data here. You'll go through, and then the next thing you're going to talk about is your assets and your liabilities. So we want to go ahead and start with real estate. If you currently own a home or you have sold a home in the last 12 months, you're going to list that property here. If you own any land that is unimproved, you're going to list that property here. If you own a second home or an investment property in another state, you're going to list those properties here. Even if they're free and clear and paid off, you still owe taxes and insurance on most, if not all properties, at least taxes. So we need to input all those liabilities to make sure we have a proper debt to income. So I know it's cumbersome. I apologize ahead of time, but it's for a reason, and it does make your qualifications a whole lot smoother and easier than if the underwriter finds it and then we have to address it. Financial information is going to be your bank statements. If you're doing a USDA, a DPA, or any of those styles of loans, then you're going to go ahead and list all your assets that are available to you. If you're going to be doing an FHA conventional or standard VA, you only need to list the assets that we're going to be using for cash to close. If you're not certain, just list the asset that you know and then move on. I don't need the exact balance that's in there to the penny, but I do need a balance in there so that way we can kind of see what we're working with. And that's it. Okay. Then you're going to come down here to gifts and grants. And when you're going through it, hit save and continue. The reason I'm not is because I've already made it past this section. So if I hit save and continue, it's just going to lump this all together. So I apologize. But gifts or grants are those items provided to you from your church, from your family, from your employer that want to help you buy a home. The rule is that they do not require repayment to be considered a gift. Okay. And they're going to write a letter that states that. If you know that somebody's going to be giving you a gift ahead of time, go ahead and set this up so we know and we can use it. If you're not sure, then just don't worry about it and move on. And we can figure that out later. But if you know you're going to be using a gift, now is the time to tell us so that way we can put it in there appropriately. Other assets is anything else that you would want to consider. I would not list anything here. Mo- some people put like their motorcycle or their ATV or their RV. Don't put that here. That can't help us within the mortgage transaction, so there's no need to list it. Liabilities. This is anything that doesn't show up on the credit reports, right? But there's no need to add credit cards or student loan debt or anything that shows up on the credit report because we already see that. This is just anything else: child support, alimony, judgments, any of those things that you need to list here, employment repayment, any of those things. And then you're going to save and continue. It's going to review all that stuff, and then you're going to click continue. And this is loan and property information, okay? The loan information is what you're trying to procure, right? What you're trying to buy. If you're trying to buy a single family, a manufactured home, a condo, second home, downtown loft, beach property, log cabin, whatever it is, this just kind of gives us an idea of what type of loan to build for you. If you don't know and you're just trying to get pre-qualified, just to put purchase, you can put zero here for the estimated purchase price. You can put zero for the down payment. You can do whatever you need to do here to get to the next screen, right? Because this has no parameters on what we do. This is just trying to give us a ballpark of how to build the file out. Property information is important because we need to know what type of file we're approving you for. Manufactured properties have different requirements than single family homes. Duplexes and quads and triplexes all have different requirements than condos or cabins or lake houses, right? So we want to make sure we get the right information up front so we know what type of property you're trying to get so we can set you up for success. And then again, you go to save and continue. And this is your declarations, okay? These are going to be questions that you're going to be asked just to make sure you're, one, not participating in mortgage fraud, not a drug dealer, not laundering money, and not trying to lie on your loan application, okay? You answer these to the best of your ability. I'm just going to explain what the question means. Do you intend to occupy this as your primary residence? If you're going to live there, then yes. If you're not going to live there, then no. If you're going to have delayed entry into the property because you're doing a renovation or repair, still click yes, right? But you're just, you need time to get moved into it. That's not the same as an investment property, right? An investment property is something you have no intentions of ever moving into. Have you had ownership or interest in another property in the last 3 years? If you've sold it, it still counts. So if you've owned it in the last 36 months, let us know. The reason we care about 3 years is that's the down payment assistance window. If you haven't owned a home in the last 3 years, you technically qualify for down payment assistance. So that's why they ask. Do you have any family relationship or business affiliation with the seller of the property? If you're getting a house through an estate sale and that estate was your family's, you need to let us know because there's requirements for that. If you are not in relationship with the seller, if your realtor is your aunt, that's okay. That's not what we're talking about, right? If the property owner is a great uncle, then we need to know about that, right? That's the kind of stuff that they're talking about. Are you borrowing any money for this real estate transaction? If you're getting down payment assistance, first time home buyers type programs, we'll take care of that for you, but you want to go ahead and click yes. If you're not sure, just click no. We'll take care of all that for you. Have you or will you be applying for a mortgage loan on another property? Some of you guys are doing investment properties on multiple properties, and you're going to want to click yes here because you'll have multiple loan applications going at the same time. Others of you will not, and so that will not be of any importance. Most of you are going to click this no category, okay? Have you or will you be applying for new credit? The answer for this is no, right? Please don't go get new credit while you're in the middle of trying to do a home application. Most of us are qualifying for the most house we can afford because we're going to be there for a long time, right? So we want to go ahead and get the one that we're looking for. We want to nail it out of the park. We want to get in and get and moved on. So let's not go get furniture. Let's not go get a new car. Let's not go open a new credit card. Let's not go to Lowe's and Home Depot and be buying stuff let's not do any of that until we're cleared to close. So let's go ahead and mark no here and just prepare ourselves to not change our debt footprint until the loan is finished. Will this property be subject to a lien that could take priority? Any liens would be solar panels, right, on the property. judgments for taxes, judgments for court liabilities where you owed a debt, didn't pay it, and now the judge has said, well, you're just going to have to pay the sucker back. Any of those things that may pop up, we need to know about ahead of time, because if we find it, you won't close, right? And that's just the reality of it. If we find that you have a judgment or a lien or some type of liability in which you owe debt to a government or some type of institution that will supersede our mortgage, we'll have to stop. Okay, so just let us know at that point in time. Are you a cosigner or a grantor on any other debt that is not disclosed on this application? So that would mean like student loan debt, auto loans, other mortgages that you may have co-signed on to help children or other family members get into a mortgage themselves. We want to go ahead and disclose that at this point, just in case we don't see it on the credit report. They may still find it, and we don't want to have to explain why we didn't disclose it later on in the process. So go ahead and take that opportunity now. Are there any outstanding judgments against you? This is, I went to court, the court said I owe this money, and now I must pay it back. Are you currently delinquent on any federal debt? That could be student loan, that could be SBA loans for the Small Business Association, that could be IRS tax debt through the county or through the state. That could be a lot of different things that you may owe the government to. And if that's the case, just let us know and we'll figure out how to navigate it. Are you party to any lawsuit? That could be anything from work for workman's compensation all the way to um, my granddaughter is suing me because I won't give her I won't give her an allowance, right? Anything in between. We just want to know to make sure there's not anything that's going to cause us a problem or your ability to repay the mortgage. Have you ever been convicted of, or have you conveyed a property in lieu of foreclosure in the last 7 years? So just because you didn't go through the entire foreclosure proceedings didn't mean you didn't lose the property. And if that happened, just let us know. We'll figure it out. It's not a big deal. In the last 7 years, have you had a pre-foreclosure, short sale, or have let go of any other property? And again, if it's happened, not a big deal. Most of you are going to click no there anyways. And then the last two, have you had a property be foreclosed on in the last 7 years, or have you filed for bankruptcy in the last 7 years? If the answer is yes to either one of those questions, again, it doesn't kill the deal. It just depends on the dates, what type of foreclosure you had, what type of bankruptcy you had, how long has it been since you had those life events happen. And then we can take a look, and some investors are really flexible and some are not. And we'll tackle it from there. Credit authorization. I authorize the lender to perform a credit check via either a soft pull or a hard pull. That is going to happen regardless of where we get into the process. So checking yes here just allows me to do it in the future. If your loan manager has promised not to do a hard pull or a soft pull until you allow them, they're going to honor that request. Nobody's going to pull your credit until you tell us that we can pull your credit. E-consent. This allows us to send documents to you electronically. That's all it does, right? We're going to disclose the loan to you electronically. We're going to disclose the loan estimate to you, the appraisal, the closing disclosures. Most of the transaction will be done electronically up until you go to close. And then the documents you sign at closing will be ink signed with the title company. And confirmation and release of information, we're going to be looking at your tax returns. We're going to be looking at your assets. We're going to be looking at your income. So for that case, you need to give us consent to be able to do so. Demographic information is just government monitoring. They want to know what type of loans we're writing here at Texana and what type of applicants we generally work with. If you have any of the ethnicities involved, just click the one that is appropriate to you, and there will be no judgment or there'll be no accusations of any other kind, right? We just want to get this done for the federal government. And who referred you? If it was a builder, if it was a realtor, if it was one of our loan managers here, if it was one of the construction guys, if it was an insurance agent, who was it and how did you find us? And so for this one, I'm going to do Sean Ireland and save and continue. This is a review of all the declarations that we just did. And then since you've completed all the work, you're now ready to submit the loan to the loan officer. This is what completes it. If you don't get to this point, we never see the application. So it's very important that you do whatever you can to get to here, click submit, and then you are done. The loan application will come into the system. Everybody gets notification, and you can then let your loan officer know that you've gotten the first step completed on home ownership. Now, one of the things that you're going to recognize now is that they're going to start asking you for stuff. Okay? Anything and everything that's going to help us get the loan application done correctly. So you'll go over here to the Documents tab, and you'll start to see you need to upload documents, you need to send documents up, whatever the credit authorization. Like, say, here's the credit authorization, here's the e-consent, here's the loan application. Those are 4 documents you've already sent in, but now you need to probably upload W-2s, tax returns, pay stubs. Any of those things that you need, you can go ahead and start uploading, and that way we can get your file working as soon as we possibly can. And that is it. You'll come back here, and now anytime you log in, you'll see your loan and then the to-do task, right? Your loan manager and your loan team will update this accordingly based upon what you need, or you can just upload whatever document you have currently saved to your computer. Tax returns, pay stubs, bank statements, driver's license, homeowner's insurance quotes, any type of extra income you have from the VA, Social Security, pension, retirement, all that, go ahead and start uploading those things and getting them into the system. Unless your loan manager has said, wait till I send you a list. Some of you guys may not know the programs you're going after, so we don't want you to send in a bunch of documents that aren't going to work. So they may say, wait until I review it, and then I'll let you know what to upload. In a lot of situations, people ask me all the time, what I should and what I should not upload and how I should and should not upload it. One thing that we don't want to do is screenshots. Screenshots are almost never submissible as far as documentation goes to the underwriter. So I would err on the side of caution of doing anything with screenshots. Other than that, you're pretty much safe to upload anything you want. We can delete, we can remove, we can take out anything that is harmful to your loan application. And then we can also ask for supplemental stuff that will help your loan application. But it'll all be done through this portal and on your phone once you download the application and here you go. See right here, so you can go to the Google Play Store or go to the App Store and actually download the Texana Bank Mortgage app from here as well. I hope this helps. I know the mortgage application is one of the things that holds up a lot of borrowers because it's cumbersome and it's a lot of information. But this video was designed to help you get from start to finish with as little headache as possible. And if it's helped, let me know. And if you want any more details or if there was stuff missing, feel free to reach out and let me know what was missing from your loan application, and I can get the next video updated as soon as I possibly can. We do appreciate you as being a customer of Texana Bank and 629 Loan. We appreciate your REMLO and everything that you guys are. We'll talk to you soon, okay? Bye.